Did everyone practice today other than normal?
Yeah, we came out okay last night.
How is Ricky progressing just kind of with that final curriculum?
I mean, he's progressing. Again, it's just a matter of when he's most comfortable. I would expect him, if things go the right way, sometime early next month. So we're definitely progressing in the right direction.
Have you seen him, be excited that it is getting closer and kind of working through this last stretch of it all?
I mean, he's ready to go, and it's, he's pushing as much as he can and doing all the things that he can, obviously safely, but, he's ready to go. He's talking to the guys, he and I have had conversations, so he's definitely looking forward to it.
What about Dean's shoulder? How is that with their shoulder?
He's progressing. I think it's a little slower, but, he is moving. He has done some stuff on the court, but I think he's still up in the air.
Thank you.
One of the things that Donovan mentioned last night after the game is that it happened against Toronto too on Friday. So you're starting to face guard him a little bit, and something he has to figure out offensively. What's the best way to combat that?
More screens, allowing him to initiate offense where they can't face guard him, back in the backcourt, and when he has the ball in his hands, more cutting and more movement to bring him off secondary actions so teams can't just keep him on one side of the floor, things like that.
And then with Ricky, you mentioned it's kind of when he feels comfortable and he's progressing well. Is there ever a point where you have to try and protect the player from themselves as they start to ramp up?
Yeah, most of the time, guys want to come back and they want to play. Obviously, he's older and been through more and has a real, having been through this injury before, has a really good understanding of his body, and he's not going to put himself in position. But our training staff and medical group, they lay a plan out, and they hold the guys to the plan.
Where's Dylan in his recovery process?
He's recovering, as well. It's a little. It was recovery, and then it was hamstring, and then it just kind of takes longer once you're trying to get back. So he's moving. Again, I don't know when he'll be back.
Getting obviously to the end of the year, so 3 months into the season, when you kind of look at these 3 months heading into the new year, what just has stood out about these first 3 months that maybe you didn't necessarily expect at this point?
I think we've gotten a lot done to start the year out. You watch, those Christmas games, and you look at the teams, in the league and in the conference that are surrounding us, and then you do an age breakdown and a minutes played breakdown and an experience breakdown, and there's a reason why those teams are who they are. It's because they are callous, they are seasoned, they played a ton of minutes. So for us to be where we are, I think we've exceeded expectations. So we're headed in the right direction. And again, we're not a finished product. Our young guys, got a lot to learn. And, they're like sponges. So the more we give them, the more they pick up, the better off we'll be towards the end of the year.
I know we've talked about how some of these things is through learning experience, and the only way to get it is through that experience. How do you, as a coach with the younger guys, handle if there is any frustration in those moments with that they're experiencing, but knowing that it is a learning experience that they have to go through, if that makes sense?
I think life experiences teach you how to handle those experiences. You put yourself in their shoes, and you think about how many times you didn't listen to your parents, and you went out and did something stupid, and then hopefully you learned from it and never did it again. And I think it's similar to this. It's similar to being a parent and talking to your kids and watching them go through things and watching them not listen to you, and then they make mistakes and they go through it and they learn and they figure it out. So I think your life experiences help shape your coaching style, and having empathy for your players and that understanding helps you in those moments, and just being realistic with yourself. This is what we're facing, and there's going to be those moments, and just being prepared for that.
Have any of them been okay, see what you meant there, after the fact?
Oh yeah, and that's the great thing about this group is they're not they don't hold or build walls as defense mechanisms. Like, they see it, they're open, they share it, and it helps them become more together, but it also helps them grow, because a lot of times, you'll listen to your peers more than you listen to your parents also, right? So it helps growth from them being able to talk about their experiences.
That about just the youth and looking at the age and the minutes and all that, just playing the Nets, who obviously have the experience. Is there a balance between what you can say to these guys with the youth that they have, and wanting to instill the confidence, and then also though that they are exceeding your expectations, they are where you want them, but at the same time there's so much more to get to? I know it's a hard thing I'm asking,
right?
But is there a balance trying to do that?
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing that you have to instill in them is belief, and we all, them included, get frustrated because we do have a belief in what we're capable of. But I think it's also, again, being realistic and understanding that you do have to have experiences in order to grow. And playing a team, like Brooklyn, like Toronto, like Milwaukee, it took us 3 shots at Milwaukee before we figured it out, but we figured it out. And I think that's what this team is about, and is, we are learning, and we do show signs of growth. But again, if they don't believe, we won't be the team that we're capable of. So the most important thing is, letting them know all the things that we have done, the small successes we've had, and then, continue to teach.
Because a lot of times, right, it's they equate a win with growth, and that's not always the case. Like you said, right? It takes, with Milwaukee, it took a couple of games.
Right.
Do they understand that?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's in the moment, you're pissed off you lost, right? And then we sit down the next morning, we have the conversation, and they understand it. But they're competitors, so it's not an excuse, and that's where they are in the moment. It's like, we had an opportunity, we should have taken advantage of it, which is what you want, because we don't have guys that are full of excuses.
First word on your shirt, the details. Are you finding yourself as a coach now, shifting any of your practices or how you think about things to focusing on those little details?
Yeah, and that, I mean, again, when you have a lot of games, you slip on some of those details just because you're not spending the time. So, today and tomorrow, that's what our focus will be, is a lot of small things, spacing things, screening angles, reads, all those things. We'll spend a lot of time focusing on them now.